Set, clear from the front. They're off. The 5 runners break from the stalls for the Group 2 Jockey Club Stakes. Winners between them of 28 of their 93 racecourse appearances and more than £3 million in win and place prize money. Global Storm with a white cap and outbox beige jacket push the pace along as they head into their only turn. They're tracked by Hurricane Lane in the raw blue, and then West Wind Blows, the blue and yellow last but one, and the grey mare Jewel in My Crown, last of the 5-strong field, as they take the turn with the Roly Mars stretching before them. Now at this stage, Outbox is running a little isolated, more towards the far rail. Now the other 4 heading down the centre, led by Global Storm, slipstream by Hurricane Lane, in turn tracked by West Wind Blows, and then the grey mare Jewel in My Crown. So Outbox running in isolation. They've gone through the first third or so of the contest. Right on terms down the middle, Global Storm, tracked in turn by Hurricane Lane, his stablemate, and the hounds of Will Buick. Jamie Spencer in the blue and yellow silks aboard West Wind Blows has just Jewel in My Crown and Callum Shepherd in behind, as up ahead Outbox and Holly Doyle and Global Storm and James Doyle, split by much of the width of the track, continue to dictate. They race 2 lengths ahead of Hurricane Lane, held together in 3rd place. West Wind Blows sitting right on his tail, and Jewel in My Crown continues to look on. And despite running in isolation against the far rail, Outbox still right on terms with Global Storm, and the pace beginning to lift just a fraction, you fancy. Hurricane Lane has yet to be asked any serious questions, leaving the half-mile behind him. Spencer just crouching a little lower now on West Wind Blows, asking him to get competitive, and he begins to move up as fairly stylishly Hurricane Lane has come sweeping through to take over. Down to the bushes, 2.5 to go, and Hurricane Lane has gone breezing on by his rivals. Global Storm ridden along. West Wind Blows now asks for maximum effort on the right. Then Jewel in My Crown. Outbox has weakened away, and it's Hurricane Lane 4-5 lengths ahead, running downhill with a furlong and a half to go in the Jockey Club Stakes. Hurricane Lane and Will Buick 6 lengths clear. Global Storm fighting it out surely for a place only with West Wind Blows, and Hurricane Lane storming clear has simply blown his rivals away to win the Jockey Club Stakes emphatically. It's very close for second between Global Storm and West Wind Blows, that Outbox and Jewel in My Crown.
Charlie Appleby has seen Hurricane Lane back to winning ways. How do you explain such different performances?
Look, it was very testing ground, as we know, down at Newbury. And look, we've always stated the horse likes, we like cutting the ground, or soft ground, to be brutally honest with you. But for his first run back after such a layoff there, it was a big ask. And Will just said that day, he said he just never felt comfortable on the horse throughout the race at any stage, whereas today he said he was a different horse. He said he was much more athletic, he travelled, he's enjoying himself. He said, and when I picked him up, asked him to pick up, he said he picked up like he did as a 3-year-old there, but I have to thank all the team. It's been a great team effort, and just delighted to get the horse back. A lot of people have asked why we were doing it, why are we coming back? But we believed in ourselves and believed in the horse, that he still held that ability there.
So that must be really satisfying, given that, I don't want to say today might have been Last Chance Saloon, but from what you're saying, today was pretty important, right?
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. It was potentially Last Chance Saloon, because you don't want to see these horses getting beat when they've had a career like he has had. He's gone out there and basically proved to us what he's been showing us, and I'm delighted for the horse as much as ourselves.
Okay, what might you look at as the season develops now?
Probably we'll see what happens weather-wise. Really, it doesn't want soft ground, to be honest. It's beautiful ground out there today. It's just good ground, even though we've had a few light showers, they've not changed anything. But good ground there. Look towards a hard whip, possibly, if the ground's right. But as we know, Ascot, that time of year, it could be proper summer racing and good to firm ground, or we could have the odd year where it's been on the slow side. So we'll just keep it very fluid, should we say.
And would you ever come back to 10 with him, or stick at 1.5?
Stick at the 1.5. I think that's him, to be honest. I think he's a proper 1.5 horse.
I've just asked Will about the 2 runners in the Guineas tomorrow. He talked about the racecourse gallops, etc. You've always been, when you've had 2 in the Guineas, pretty forthright about your views, which is always welcome, and you were very forthright with Caribus last year. How do you weigh up these two then, Silver Knot and Noble Star?
Silver Knot's, guaranteed to see the mile out. He's proven on the course. He won the autumn stakes, and he's got that sort of what I like. He's got that sort of enough racing experience and battle hard, and in these Group 1s when it comes to fighting it out, you've got to have cut your teeth, and he's done that. Silver Knot, on the other hand, he's 3 from 3. That Gimcrack form is outstanding form, but genuinely we'll be sat up in the stands not knowing whether once they go into the dip there, will he see it out or not? If he sees it out, he's going to be a very dangerous horse. Strictly on pedigree, there's a big question mark. But with a horse like him, not saying what do you do, he deserves to be in the race. Doesn't look out of place in the race, and we'll decipher afterwards whether we're a miler, Jersey horse, or a Commonwealth, really. So I don't. Yeah, say going into the race very open-minded.
If Noble Star was to see it out, could he? Is he the most talented potentially, or do they equally hold as much talent as each other?
I think he probably could be the most talented because at the end of the day, he's won a Gimcrack. He's going to have that turn of foot, and that's what we saw. That's what we saw when he won the Gimcrack. So if he can apply that over the mile, yeah, he's a superior horse. It's just if you can see that mile out.
Cheers, Charlie.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
Cheers, Tom.
Cheers. Thanks so much. Well, a great performance from Hurricane Lane under this man, William Buick. Much different to last time. Did you feel early on it was going to be different?
I did, yeah. He had the cheek pieces added on today, and I'm not sure whether they made all the difference, but he was a much fitter horse, and he'd had that run under his belt at Newbury. Obviously travelled down there, and today he was game on. He felt like the real athlete that he is. The race set up nicely for him, but he was convincing, and I loved the way he went through the gears. It's lovely to see him back like that.
It must be a bit of a relief ultimately, because we know how talented he is.
Yeah, absolutely. When you were as good as he was last year, and then Newbury, the ground was incredibly bad, so I think that there was a bit of that as well. But look, fair play to Charlie and all the team. Great to get him back, and obviously this is on his doorstep, so it was perfect today.
Just touch on tomorrow and take me through the thought process behind Silver Knot and Noble Star. Was it a lot to do with their racecourse gallop?
Yeah, I suppose when they don't run in any trials and you do get them on the racecourse for a bit of work, I suppose you learn a little bit more. But ultimately, Charlie thought I should ride Silver Knot, and James ride Noble Star, and they're both high-class 2-year-olds. I'm not sure that necessarily means anything, who rides who, so they're both running. It's
to the British GPF for their support.
It's a good race, as it always should be.
And I know we know with Silver Knot, distance not a problem. What's your view, Noble Star-wise? He was so good last year, but do you think the mile could be a concern?
Yeah, Silver Knot, he will stay, and he has plenty of experience last year. He ran in a lot of good races, and he was only narrowly beaten the Breeders' Cup. So he ticks a lot of boxes. Noble Style, obviously, he's up 2 furlongs from last year, and when he won the Gimcrack, if you win a Gimcrack, you're a fast horse. So, which is what he is. He's very talented. So I suppose his question mark is whether he'll stay the mile or not. And tomorrow will tell us.
Cheers, Will.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Subscribe to Racing TV's YouTube channel now to watch more great races like this.